Hi fight fans, and welcome to another video. Mental warfare became an essential aspect of combat sports that significantly impacts the fight's result. Commonly known as trash talk, fighters like Chael, Sonnen, Dominick, Cruz, and Conor McGregor have been using this mental warfare as their initial tactic to defeat the opponent even before entering the octagon.
Take a coffee break, Nate. And by coffee break, I mean bring me my coffee.
Although this sport focuses on physical contact that primarily requires strength and technique, some athletes were mentally beaten even before the fight started. We'll examine some of the biggest mental breakdowns in MMA history and discuss how trash talk significantly impacted the fight outcome. Nate Diaz versus Donald Cerrone. Where Nate Diaz comes from, those who initiate fights and try to be your friends for no reason can get slapped. The friendly and warm Donald Cerrone learned about that the hard way when he tried to shake Nate's hand behind the stage before their scheduled fight on December 30th, 2011. The Stockton native came with the mindset to fight and kill and not to be anyone's friend, especially not with his upcoming opponent, so he refused the handshake, which led to an alleged altercation.
I never met the kid. I wanted to shake his hand. You know, I understand where he comes from. He doesn't want to be friends. He doesn't want to have any kind of interaction with any guys he fights, and that's just how he approaches different fights.
When they were set to square off, the cowboy tried to come close and look into Nate's eyes, but the Stockton native was having none of that. He punched the hat off Cerrone's head and shoved him, making it clear that he was not there to joke around. Judging by Cowboy's body language, he looked like someone who didn't want to be there, as someone insecure. It was apparent that Nate had already started to break Cerrone mentally. This was something entirely new for the cowboy, who was used to friendly and respectful opponents. Although he had all the skills to be confident in his abilities, Cerrone's confidence was slowly fading away as Nate kept trash-talking him and getting in his face whenever he got the chance. When they entered the octagon, Nate looked at Donald as a predator, looking at its prey before eating it. Although many thought this fight would be competitive, Cerrone seemed already mentally defeated. Nate Diaz was the superior fighter as he kept stalking the cowboy and tagging him with boxing combos. Cerrone was shy to engage, and he kept absorbing the damage without having an answer. When the two fighters were ready to enter the third round, Donald looked terrified and broken as Nate Diaz kept staring at him while giving him the middle finger. Nate was declared the winner in a fight where Donald Cerrone was already beaten even before the fight started. By the way, if you liked our video so far, please make sure to press the like button. Dillashaw versus Dominick Cruz. Dominick Cruz is the fighter with one of the highest IQs inside and outside the octagon. Therefore, he is a UFC analyst for a reason. He uses his crafty sarcasm to mentally defeat his opponents even before fighting them, and his mental intelligence undoubtedly matches his fighting skills as he can back up his words most of the time. During 2014 and 2015, Dillashaw was the champion and the dominant force in the UFC bantamweight division. After 3 years of struggling with injuries, Dominick Cruz was determined to reclaim what once belonged to him, as it took only a minute to knock out Takeya Mizugaki upon his return. After making such a statement, his eyes were set on the bantamweight belt again, and on January 7, 2016, he was finally scheduled to face the undisputed champion Dillashaw. Sure enough, Dominick used every opportunity to get under TJ's skin. Cruz has one of the best footwork in the UFC, and he has brought that to the table, stating that TJ only fought stationary fighters.
He hasn't faced somebody like me. He's able to mix things up because he's facing stationary targets. So he's been able to look a lot better than he really is.
Dillashaw, being verbally assaulted, stated that he didn't want to speak, initiating that he only wanted to display his skills in the octagon, to which Dominick responded.
I think you're scared to talk because you don't want to say what you're going to do because you're scared to eat your words.
TJ was dragged into Dominick's world of trash talk, and he was uncomfortable there as Cruz kept confronting him with questions.
So say
Fair
it.
enough.
Tell me.
I don't need to.
I'll do it right here. I'm going to beat you because I'm better than you. I'm going to beat you because...
knock you out.
How?
Don't worry about how I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to do it.
You're going to knock me out. That's how you're going to beat me? Nobody even hits me.
In Dillashaw's defense, he wasn't just staying there getting verbally destroyed. He tried to talk back, but he shot himself in the foot each time he opened his mouth. When TJ brought the numbers and statistics to the table, Dominick asked how he would implement his striking statistics on him when he doesn't even get hit, considering the superior head movement and footwork Cruz possesses. When TJ argued that he was the brighter guy considering his college degree, Dominick Cruz immediately shut him up.
You might want to show that diploma next time you're at an interview with me so you look a little smarter, because you don't talk smart.
Being overwhelmed by Dominick's trash talk, TJ thought he had had enough and told him he was done talking to him. However, that did not prevent Cruz from attacking him verbally.
You can't be done talking to me. You're right here facing me, dummy. You gotta talk to me. You have no choice. You got nowhere to go. Keep talking.
If this was not one of the biggest mental breakdowns in UFC history, I don't know what else is. TJ Dillashaw was visibly frustrated and bothered by all the trash talk before the fight, and when they fought, Dominick Cruz was a bit better overall, edging him on the scorecards. Dominick reclaimed his title after 5 years, and TJ confessed that he was bothered by all the mean talk he received. However, Cruz felt no remorse, stating that this is a fight, and trash talk is just part of the fight game.
It's a fight. He didn't exactly do very kind things to me in there, and I didn't do very kind things to him back, so forgive me for my mean words.
Chael Sonnen versus Wanderlei Silva. Chael Sonnen is undoubtedly the godfather of trash talking, and according to many, he is arguably the best trash talker of all time. However, his talking abilities did not match his skills in the octagon, therefore he could never reach the same fame as Conor McGregor. Sonnen targeted everyone, especially the Brazilian fighters.
Because I am attempting to pick a fight with some Brazilian fighters.
He especially enjoyed talking about how less developed Brazil is compared to the USA, and many Brazilian competitors were finding that offensive, especially Wanderlei Silva.
He tried to feed a bus a carrot, and now you're telling me that country has computers? I didn't know that.
Some people would find that racist, but Chael has a degree in sociology from the University of Oregon. He knew precisely that Brazil is not a race but a country. Therefore, he used every opportunity to trash talk about Brazil to pick a fight against a Brazilian fighter. Wanderlei Silva, a proud Brazilian representative, vowed to punish Sonnen for all the bad things he said about Brazil and about him personally.
Wanderlei Silva! 6 feet tall and 205 pounds. Boy, until I met you, I didn't know they could stack crap that high.
Wanderlei was genuinely pissed at Chael, and his rage grew each time Sonnen opened his mouth and mentioned his name.
Wanderlei, you are an immigrant from Brazil. I am a gangster from America. Are you sure you want to play that game with me?
Wanderlei was psychologically bothered by all that bad talk, and when they were scheduled to fight on the Ultimate Fighter show, he was eager and impatient to fight Sonnen right there.
Come on, I just talking.
You wanna know?
I'm just asking if Wanderlei, stop.
You wanna know?
Stop. Stop.
You wanna know?
Please stop. I can't let you get close.
Can you hear my? Stop.
However, a fight in the UFC between these two never capitalized, but nevertheless, they were matched to face each other in Bellator on June 24, 2017. When they had a scheduled bout, Chael Sonnen could focus entirely on Wanderlei and say everything directly to him.
I mean, he came out in an interview and said he wanted to taste my blood, and it's like, come on, man, Dan Henderson knocked the taste out of your mouth 10 years ago. You can't taste a goddamn thing.
For some reason, Wanderlei Silva could not appear at the press conference, and Chael Sonnen used that as an opportunity to trash talk Silva and his country Brazil again.
I'm not coming into the men's bathroom at the homeless shelter, Wanderlei. You can call me out all you want. I told you I'd be in New York, and I will be in New York on June 24th, one place you are not.
Wanderlei Silva was already angry and frustrated with Sonnen from all the years the American trash talked him. But this time, Chael was crossing the line repeatedly, verbally destroying the Brazilian.
I told the press 3 weeks ago the next time I see Wanderlei Silva, I'm going to be fighting Wanderlei Silva, and he stayed home in Brazil, and that's just the reality. And the last time I saw Wanderlei Silva, I fought Wanderlei Silva on the streets of Brazil. So yes, my words matter, my words care. We are back on pay-per-view, and Daddy is the king of pay-per-view.
When they were finally locked in the cage, Wanderlei was so pissed that he wanted to make quick work of Sonnen. The American knew he could use Wanderlei's anger to his advantage and repeatedly took him down and punished him with ground and pound strikes for 3 rounds. Instead of practicing defending a takedown, Silva was eager to make Sonnen eat his words about Brazil and feel sorry for what he said. However, the reality was different, and he couldn't stop Sonnen's takedowns. Chael Sonnen was declared the winner by unanimous decision, and Wanderlei was so frustrated after the bout that he shoved Sonnen on his way out. And what do you guys think? Do you agree with our selections? Who do you consider the best trash talker in the UFC? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to watch more videos like this, please make sure to like and subscribe.